On the flip side of this, are you someone who absolutely just despises drama and does your best to avoid it at all costs? If you answered yes to either of these questions, are you ready to feel calm and centered and serene while still being passionate in your relationships and love life? Welcome to the Universal Love Story. I am Lauren K. Wyatt, love psychic, illusion dismantler, and owner of Love Renegades. In this episode, we're going to dive deep into the law of drama. And we're going to talk about how drama, whether we're the instigators of the drama or whether we're just like, no drama for me. All the ways in which drama can really separate us from love. In this episode, you will become aware of how to break the law of drama and how to really open your heart and let in all of that passion while still keeping your center. First, let me log into your Akashic record.
Yeah. One moment.
One moment, please. Just so that you know, when I give you guidance, I might be like really blunt with you because that's the kind of guide we have.
Oh no. Are all guides there for your benefit, even if they're blunt?
The guide that we have with us today is very much about truth, is very blunt, and is also great at supporting you in transcending any emotional blocks.
Okay.
And not allowing your feelings to sabotage you.
Okay.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So for people who are feelers, who are more emotional by nature, they have this really special relationship with their emotional body. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. This can really lead to so many pieces of art, different ways of expressing ourselves. These are beautiful traits, except for when those feelings and those emotions hold us back and push love away from us. And oftentimes people who are naturally intuitive and sensitive, when they get into spiritual development work, they can often mistake their feelings and emotions for their intuition. This is something that I noticed Stacy dealing with. It's something that I've dealt with, that a lot of us have dealt with. And it is so good to always stay connected with your heart and to notice certain patterns on when those feelings get extra loud. Because that's often the time when you need to just take a step back, tune in, and find the quiet and ask yourself, what have I been doing lately that have brought on all of these emotions? Okay, I've been doing something new. Maybe I'm just scared of the unknown and all of these emotions are here to protect me from moving further. Because that is something that Junior does. Junior's job, that's my word for ego, Junior's job is to keep us safe. Stacy, what is your intention for our session?
To not hold back.
I love it, to not hold back. And so it is with love, with truth, and with gratitude and liberation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen.
I have manifested everything that I wanted to in the last 5 days. And this person has come into my life that, I met on Saturday. And last night he told me that he's in love with me. And we knew that by the end of the first day. Oh, and I impulsively just bought a trip to Costa Rica with him.
When we did one of your healings, a vision came up of you on a beach and a man with you.
Yes.
And it wasn't just a man you were hanging out with, it was very much like you two were together.
Yes.
So you're creating that.
So I literally am creating, like to a T, it's everything that I have wanted. I am totally freaking out.
Sometimes as we move on to really create and manifest what it is that we want, when we have these things, we can start to really overthink it. And sometimes we can, especially law of drama people, we can look for flaws and create problems that really don't exist. And this is a way to stay safe. And it's also a way to create a sense of knowing and having a handle on things that we can't possibly know. So many times we want to have everything figured out before we're in a new situation. And that's just not how things work. You're here to experience yourself and to be in relationships with other people if that's what you choose. And in doing that, there are going to be different inadequacies that surface and different fears that surface within you. And you're going to most likely see these same things reflected in you with the person that you're spending all of your romantic time with. And what I just want you to do is, instead of overthinking things and looking for all the things that could go wrong and preparing for the inevitable and saying you're not good enough for what you have, all of these things that Junior can do just to take us on a wild ride, I'm going to ask you to take a step back, to breathe, to say, wow, this is an opportunity for me to do things differently, and I don't have to choose drama. I can choose to stay centered. I can choose to stay serene, even though there's all this uncertainty around me.
I just am questioning now if it's just too much. And I don't know if that is like that saboteur part of me that wants to run, because I am like terrified of true intimacy. It's something that I haven't had in a really long time. And he like wants to hold me and like tells me how beautiful I am and like tells me how amazing I am. And
these are good problems.
I know.
These
and
are
that's
awesome
why I feel like
problems. All right, so what we see on this tray of truth, as you said, are depictions of your sacred archetypes. You carry the coward archetype.
Mm-hmm.
The storm that's happening inside of you, and if you look at the card, it is a storm. The storm that's happening inside of you is you have an inner bully.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody is, when someone holds the coward archetype, they are courageous.
Mm-hmm.
They have a great relationship with their fear and with their inner bully.
Yeah.
When this fear has been dealt with, and when you've transformed your relationship with fear, you become unstoppable. With this, with the coward here and the bully here, you have given yourself, manifested, created this awesome relationship with someone who is so much like you that you're seeing different things in yourself that you haven't treasured enough yet. Conflict is a natural part of being in relationships. I mean, we have two souls in these human bodies that are choosing to hang out with each other, and things are going to get triggered and ignited. That's just the way it is, especially in our romantic relationships, and it can happen in other relationships as well. So the point here is You don't have to avoid conflict. You don't have to cross your fingers and pray and hope that it doesn't happen and do everything that you can to avoid it. Because you know what resists does persist. Instead, what you can do is acknowledge that you do feel uncomfortable and sit with yourself and that other person and talk it through. Let them know, this is how I feel and this is what I think is going on. Is that true? What's your point of view? You know, sometimes having these direct and connected conversations can really support us in breaking the law of drama. So you get to receive love. And what a huge part of our conversation comes down to today, Stacy, is that you have a really hard time receiving love.
Such a hard time.
And
I have a hard time even connecting now to what that word even means.
You're so hungry for it, but you've been starving yourself. And
now it's like it makes me sick.
Body,
it's like this love from a romantic partner makes me physically sick because I'm so terrified of intimacy.
So sometimes when we get what it is that we want, we can really experience all of our deepest fears coming to the surface. And a lot of these fears are things that are like, they're universal. Like the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of disappointing others. And sometimes we forget that really all of us experience these fears off and on, and you know, some to a higher degree than others, but that it's really not something that cannot be overcome, because we see different examples of people moving through these fears all the time. So if you notice that you have a fear of failure coming up, a fear of sabotaging the relationship or whatever it is, instead of like making a big drama and blowing the relationship up and getting to be right about how you don't deserve these things, what you can do is you can just acknowledge that you have a wonderful opportunity to trust yourself, to trust the whole process and the universe. You have everything it takes to handle this situation in a new way, and that even if it is uncomfortable, and even though you are feeling these fears, you trust that because you are choosing love and you are actively choosing to break the law of drama, that you are going to create love and you're going to create feeling calm and centered and serene while still being passionate in your relationships. So what breakthrough do you want to have?
I mean, I want to be able to have a comfortable relationship with intimacy.
Saboteurs in the 8th house and sex has a lot to do with the 8th house.
Yeah.
So if you two are going, like you're getting ready to take the relationship to this level, of course you would want to undermine him based on what sex means to you.
Right.
And the experiences you've had.
Right.
So.
And I'm so used to having sex with people that I don't mean anything to. And I'm afraid that I'm going to do that to him. You know, like, it is a big responsibility to love somebody, and he loves me so much, and I can feel it, and I don't want to hurt him.
And something else is that I feel, and you set your intention for authenticity today, a lot of times we fear the truth, and we fear being the highest potential expression of ourselves because we're afraid of what other people will think.
Literally everything that have been trying to manifest and do, I am getting.
Yeah.
So this new relationship, I mean, it's been less than 2 weeks, and I mean, we are like totally head over heels in love with each other. I was getting worried that, like, because he is so sweet and so romantic, I realized how scared I was to really have what I asked for.
Stacey, you are the powerful creator of your experience. Like everything in your life is a reflection of you, and it's a result of the choices that you've made.
There were so many lies that I told myself, and so many stories that I told myself. And I think, you know, it scares me to have what I want, because then it's like I don't have to look anymore. And so then it's like, okay, now I have to figure out where I'm like redirecting my energy, because for so long my focus was, how do I have to create a relationship? And now the relationship is here, and it's not like my work on me stops, but it's like I don't have to try anymore.
Some people who are watching this, they might be thinking, oh, you know, that's just luck. She's so lucky. Like I have it really bad. I have all these things going against me that separate me from love.
Yes.
Like they're
and that is how I've always
Yeah.
felt too. Even though I knew when we met that he was my person, and we were totally aligned, and you know, everything was going great. You know, I knew that there were these things about me that I was going to have to share with him that I hadn't shared with anybody before, and that I thought would cause the relationship to be over. One of the reasons that I really thought that I was never going to be able to be in a loving relationship was because I had contracted an STD in a previous relationship. And it's something that I carried so much shame about. And it was unfortunate because when I had contracted it, it was with somebody that I loved them and I trusted them, but they did not feel that way about me. And so in this new relationship, I went over there and I broke down and I told him, and he loved me more because of it. Yeah, it is.
You
not...
were harboring this secret. Storyteller archetype. You had all of these stories about how you were now unlovable.
So much of my stuff keeps coming up, and I very adamantly keep trying to run and ruin the relationship. And it is interesting because I think that I had this idea before that as soon as I was in a really healthy relationship with somebody that loved me, like all of my shit would fall away. And it's really been the opposite. I have this partner that is like so supportive and so grounding, and like he just keeps pushing me to like get out of my comfort zone. And so I can see that like a lot of me running from him it's not really him obviously that I'm running for, it's running from myself and running from all my potential.
Really step into your power. All these red flags, like, power ahead, no, like sabotage it. All those things are going to come up, and this happens to really like a lot of people, but for you, it's like a huge part of your journey is dealing with fear and your relationship with really stepping into your power. You attracted a partner and created a relationship where this person really loves you for you, like your flaws and your strengths, and this person sees you and is there to really support you emotionally and spiritually, and then with the physical things as well. And that can be very, very scary and intimidating.
I just find myself getting so irritated with him like really for no reason. And I think it's just, it's been a while since I've been in a serious relationship like this, and I don't know if it's like those little quirks that start to come out that really just start to bother me, or what it is. And I feel really overwhelmed because, maybe I can't really trust what I say that I want.
Through our relationship, we can find the healing opportunities within ourselves.
Yeah. And I right now feel like I just want to be like, just get the fuck away from me.
And that's okay.
It's like there's such a I'm having a strong adverse reaction to being in this relationship.
You powerfully manifested this, and it was like right place at the right time, stars aligning for you guys. That's a lot to hold.
Yes.
And you have not been used to receiving such appreciation and, someone who's like all about you. This is really like reflecting the imprint of you pushing love away, and you're projecting your own, your own self-worth, not deserving, not good enough, onto this man.
And here I am back in that same pattern with there's somebody that loves me, and what am I doing? I am treating them like shit.
Stacy decided to leave the project early and fire me. And you know what? Things like this happen. People break up. People get fired. It's okay. It's how things work. And from my heart, I wish Stacy the very best, just like I do all of my clients. How are you affected by this law of love? I am genuinely interested. Please comment with your insights, your reflections, and your experiences and questions, and join us in our free Facebook group, The Revolt for Love, Love Revolution.
Coming up on the next episode of the Universal Love Story.
My name is Tony Berg, and I am in technology. My first dream relationship is really with myself, and this is what I've been working on, which is trying to sort of build the best life that I can, and I want it to be a masterpiece. My dream relationship with another person would look like something very supportive in both directions. She would support me in my goals and dreams. I would support her the same. Our goals and dreams wouldn't necessarily have to be completely aligned. For me, my dream relationship would be with someone who's passionate about what they do, whatever that may be. On a personal level, I have a history of not living my dreams because of perceived limitation. And some of it's real, some of it's not. So I'm in the process of breaking free from the ones that are not real. We all know that there are limitations that are not real, that are perceived. And I'm in the process of breaking free from those, both on a personal level and I'd like to think also on my interpersonal levels, where I've always been pretty open to just about anything, I'd like to think. And I think that I'm getting even more open, which is really exciting. And, closedness is a limitation, and a lot of times an illusory one. And I'm in the process of breaking free from that, both personally and interpersonally. So I hope to gain from this journey. I'm really big on self-improvement and growth, both physically, spiritually. I don't need to act these things out. Physically, spiritually, financially, relationship wise. I'm open to love. I'm open. Bring me all the love. I'm hoping to continue down the path of growth and self-improvement in all aspects, in every aspect of my life. Is that too much to ask for? It sounds like it's too much, like it's a lot. But that's what I'm hoping to gain, is further enhancement, I guess. Right? If that makes sense.